Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today at 10 a.m., 7 bulldozers marched into the epicenter of Jahangirpuri communal riots that singed Delhi on the 16th of April. The message and intent was made clear by the administration that encroachers will not be spared. What followed after that was a precision strike on illegal structures built on public land. I emphasize that no discrimination was made in the demolition. Watch this. The illegal extension to the temple in this area too is now being dismantled. The Supreme Court halted the demolition drive, but Hindu groups themselves took the initiative to remove the encroachment linked to the mandir. In fact, the extended entrance of the mosque under investigation was also demolished, the authorities calling it an illegal structure. The bulldozers also trampled upon illegal kiosks and shops which blocked the roads and pavements. The Gupta juice shop made illegally also faced the wrath of the JCBs, 9 of them, and it came crumbling down. Illegal structures built on government land in the form of extensions and walls stood no chance in front of these bulldozers. From Brinda Karat to Asaduddin Owaisi, political netas made a beeline to Jahangirpuri, claiming vendetta against one community was at display. For all those who are tuning in now, Times Now brings you a glimpse of the high voltage drama that ensued this morning. Take a look.
The encroachment is being removed. Now, these are the illegal structures. Now, this is the illegal structure over here, and this bulldozer will not see any religion, any community, any particular person. This will run over every single illegal structure over here. And you can see these are the exclusive visuals. Now, this is the point. This is the point from where the clashes started that day, and a stall over here, a cart over here, which was illegally placed over here, is being demolished by the bulldozers.
You can see this shop when the boards were taken out. There we can also see that many bottles are falling down. You can clearly listen to the sound. So this area, which was supposed to be a juice corner, finally became a dump yard for keeping all those bottles which were supposed to go for recycle. Now the point with them, you can listen to the sound. So this is certainly not a shop which was meant for the, a juice corner.
Crane or earth moving machine is right below the mosque, and it has demolished one of the structures just below the mosque. This was a temporary shed below the mosque. There were at least 4 or 5 shops below the mosque or a commercial establishment. They have all these sheds have been brought down, and these are mobile phone shops which were rented by the mosque itself or the imam of the mosque, and they have all been brought down.
सर क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन मिला है सर? दुकान भी गिराना है, सिर्फ इंक्रोचमेंट गिराना है सर? सर भी दुकान भी गिराना है सर, या सर जो रोड पे इंक्रोचमेंट है उसी को गिराना है सर? दुकान गिराने का इंस्ट्रक्शन है क्या सर?
The MCD is still carrying out the demolition. This is blatant violation of Supreme Court order. आप लोगों को मना नहीं किया है ये करने से. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर दिया है कि इसको बंद कर दीजिए. बंद कर दिया. ये तो चल रहा है. बंद कर देते हैं. बंद कर दीजिए आप, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मना कर दिया है.
बीच में इस तरीके के आरोप लगाए जा रहे थे कि क्या ये जो पूरी की पूरी कार्रवाई है कहीं एक तरफा तो नहीं है, लेकिन ये मंदिर है और मंदिर के पास देखिए यहाँ पर भी जितनी दुकानें हैं उनको भी एमसीडी ने तोड़ा. उनके अधिकारी लगातार ये कह रहे हैं कि हम जो कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं वो सिर्फ अवैध जो निर्माण किए गए हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की जा रही है.
Well, there is a lobby in India which always springs up to action when it sees the BJP as the aggressor. And this lobby was quick to pounce on the centre by giving it a communal spin. But the voices from the ground have punctured the arguments primarily aimed at fanning hate. Rahul Gandhi called the demolition drive nothing but a state-sponsored targeting of the poor and minorities, but he hasn't heard the voices of Ramanja, who owned a pawn shop. Listen in.
35 साल से आप चला रहे थे, अब कोर्ट का न्यायालय का आदेश है कि इस डेमोलिशन ड्राइव को रोक दिया जाए।
मेरा तो बहुत नुकसान हो गया और रेडी बनाने में कम से कम 25-30 हजार की, ऊपर से उसका सामान 50 हजार से ऊपर का नुकसान है सर।
कैसे भरपाई करेंगे इसको?
अब हम क्या करें भाई, गरीब आदमी है, देखा जाएगा जैसे भी होगा, भीख मांग लेंगे और क्या करेंगे।
Samajwadi Party Supremo Akhilesh Yadav said that the BJP is targeting its opponents via bulldozers, but he didn't hear the desperate cries of the owner of Jupe's shop, Ganesh Gupta, who was also targeted in this demolition.
दुकान तोड़ दी है पूरी मेरी और ये मंदिर के पीछे लगे हुए हैं, मस्जिद के पीछे लगे हुए हैं। वे हिंदू मुस्लिम कर दो, अपना राजनीति में करो ना, जहाँ जहाँ मैटर कर रहे हो, राजनीतिक बना रखा मुद्दा सबका सही है। किस बात का वेद है? आज से तोड़ दो क्या? ये अभी तोड़ देते हैं, 50 साल से तो यही है ये, अब क्यों तोड़ रहे हैं? क्यों अभी गलत बनाए? जब हिंदू मुस्लिम हुआ तभी गलत बनाए। ये जो दंगा हुआ इसकी वजह से गलत हो गया। अभी तक तो थी, ऐसे नहीं होता यार। ये बताइए।
Owaisi claims that Muslims are undergoing collective punishment, but he was unaware of Sumit Saksena's distress. Listen in to Sumit Saxena.
जब आपकी दुकान तोड़ी जा रही थी उससे पहले कोई नोटिस भेजा था आपको?
नोटिस कुछ नहीं आया भाई, यही आया था कि यहाँ का सामान हटाया जाएगा। हम यहाँ पर 3-4 दिन से तो आने भी नहीं दे रहे दुकान के पास। बड़ी मुश्किल से यहाँ तक आए हैं, तो इतने में तो इन्होंने ये करना चालू कर दिया।
सुमित, ये जो आपकी दुकान है, ये दुकान कितनी पुरानी है आपकी यहाँ पर?
ये दुकान बहुत पुरानी है।
कितने साल हो गए इसको?
ये मेरे पापा के नाम है, पापा को ही पता है काफी। मैं तो बचपन से यहीं पर हूँ, पापा के साथ है। पापा मेरे गए हैं बाहर। DDA की दुकान है, इसके सारे रजिस्ट्री है हमारे पास, इसके सारे कागज है।
The opposition claims that the BJP-run MCD have bulldozed the Supreme Court's order and that headquarters of the BJP should be demolished, which spreads violence across the country. The BJP has slammed the encroacher ecosystem for shielding violators. Listen in to this war of words.
जो कुछ भी हो चुका है, ये तुर्कमान गेट 2022 है। ये टारगेटेड डेमोलिशन है। तो एक कम्युनिटी को कलेक्टिव पनिशमेंट दिया जा रहा है, ये विजिलेंटी जस्टिस है। मैं इसको कंडेम करता हूं।
न्याय, कानून व्यवस्था जो सबके लिए कानून बराबर होता है, कानून की राज अगर आप मानते हैं तो नहीं देखा जाता है कि ये हिंदू पर चल रहा है कि मुसलमान पर चल रहा है।
Already, the law has been bulldozed, constitution has been bulldozed by illegal demolitions. At least the Supreme Court and its order should not be bulldozed.
आपका जो इसमें आपने जो क्राइम किया है, जो करतूतें की हैं, उस पर कानूनी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए और होती ही है। और अफसोस की बात यह है कि इस काम में जो गुनहगार लगे हुए हैं, जो इस तरह के गंभीर गुनाह कर रहे हैं, उन गुनाहगारों को सुरक्षा कवच कहाँ मिल रहा है? उन पिटे हुए पॉलिटिकल प्लेयर से।
आज भाजपा शासित MCD जहांगीरपुरी में बुलडोजर चला रही है। कह रही है कि अगर दंगे रोकने हैं तो बुलडोजर चलाना जरूरी है। तो बाकी देश में दंगे कौन करा रहा है? भाजपा करा रही है। भाजपा गुंडों की पार्टी है, भाजपा लफंगों की पार्टी है। तो अगर वास्तविक तौर पे दंगे रुकवाने हैं तो भाजपा के हेडक्वार्टर पे बुलडोजर चलाना चाहिए। जिस दिन भाजपा के हेडक्वार्टर पे बुलडोजर चल गया, उसके बाद देश भर में दंगे खत्म हो जाएंगे।
क्या आम आदमी पार्टी ने रोहिंग्याज को ओखला से लेके जहांगीरपुरी तक जमीन पर इलीगल कब्जे नहीं करवाए? ये एक बड़ा प्रश्न है और इसकी जांच होनी चाहिए, कड़ी जांच होनी चाहिए, निष्पक्ष जांच होनी चाहिए। मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी ने पिछले लगभग 3 वर्षों से दिल्ली के अमर कॉलोनी को सील कर दिया, लेकिन वही मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी ओखला या जहांगीरपुरी नहीं जाती है। ये चिंता का विषय है ना।
And that brings me to the legitimate question on the NewsHour tonight, which we are asking. And the question simply is demolishing illegality wrong? That's the question and the debate. Bulldozer justice coming up on the other side.
You're watching the NewsHour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate, Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress Party, joining me live from Kolkata, Mohammad Asif Hussain Sohail, political analyst, and Syed Jawed, Muslim activist, also with me. But my first question goes to Dr. Sambit Patra. Dr. Sambit Patra, I'm going to cut through the chase. The two questions that the country wants to know from you answers for are: number one, is it going to be a system of bulldozer justice in this country? And number two, the timing. The timing right after the clashes in Jahangirpuri. These illegal structures have been there for very, very long, some for 30 years. Why now? Are you proving a point, and is law now going to be enacted through bulldozers?
See, Navika, good evening for having me. There are two main parts to this debate. The first part of the debate is about the encroachment, is about the legality of the bulldozing process that took place today by the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. And the second part of the debate is whether Bharatiya Janata Party, whether the MCD, which is ruled by Bharatiya Janata Party, was selective and communal while in fact taking up this process of bulldozing the encroachments. Now, as far as the legality is concerned, we have some ace lawyers on your panel, and I believe they are going to throw some light upon it. And I'm sure you would agree, as would most of us, that as far as illegal encroachments are concerned, they are banes to the society, and of course they need to be addressed. The whole issue is in the Supreme Court of India. The court is also hearing the matter. But as far as the allegations on the Bharatiya Janata Party, the politics of the whole issue is concerned, the allegation by the Congress Party, the allegation by Owaisi, that it is an attack on the minorities, it's an attack on the Muslim community, the poor Muslim community, and it is state-sponsored, is completely unfounded. It's completely unfounded. And remember, Navika, it's not for the first time that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been put to these questions. Every time since 2014, Bharatiya Janata Party has tried to do something good, tried to do something proactive. We have had provocations against the Bharatiya Janata Party. For instance, we in fact took down Article 370. Questions were put on us that we were being communal, we were targeting minorities. We in fact followed what the Supreme Court said in Yaqub Memmon's hanging, and the same case is followed. Remember, in the midnight opening of the Supreme Court, and all these left liberals pouncing on the Bharatiya Janata Party, headlines like he was hanged because he was a Muslim. Remember when in fact Murtaza was caught about a couple of weeks ago in Gorakhpur temple, attacking Gorakhpur temple with a terrorist-like attack. We were questioned that this is something which the Bharatiya Janata Party does against the Muslims. You in fact act against Tahir Hussain, the Aam Aadmi Party and the likes, the dissent to defend Tahir Hussain, and today yet again we have been questioned. My sincerest submission over here is, till when are we supposed to keep quiet? Well, to your question, Navika, that is this linked to what happened in Jahangirpuri? There was a riot in Jahangirpuri, there was stone pelting in Jahangirpuri. Was it a revenge taken against a particular community? And the timing? No, the timing is not a suspect. Because you have taken name of Mr. Gupta, you have yourself told that there was a Mr. Jha also, whose shop has been razed because it was somehow illegal. And to conclude, I would say that sometimes, I'm just thinking it aloud, sometimes what happens is an illegal incident in the area draws the attention of the lawmakers to that area. If there is a right, probably the police or the other law enforcing agencies, they might have been drawn towards the fact that supposedly there was not these encroachments, probably there would have been free movement, and probably this untoward incident might not have happened. This happens across the length and the breadth of the country. So all these false allegations against BJP are unfounded, and as usual, this is provocative against...
Yeah. Can I come in?
Kamruzaman
Good evening,
Chaudhary,
everybody.
Rahul
When
Gandhi,
Sambhiji says
no comment coming in, no comment. Yes. Good evening. But Rahul Gandhi has no time to tweet when there is violence and stone pelting on a Hanuman Murti. He has no time to tweet when Matloob Ahmed is absconding from Karoli for the last almost 19 days. He has no time to tweet when Murtaza attacks the Gorakhnath Mutt. He has no time to talk about any of these atrocities. But the minute you touch anything that is related to the minority community in this country, out comes the constitution, and the fact that the BJP is tearing it apart. I want to ask you, it's not against the minorities, it's clear from the fact that illegal structures in front of the temple and as well as Ganesh Gupta, Sumit Saxena and Ranjan Jha were all razed to the ground. So why is the opposition making this all about communalism? Why is it communal at all? If stone pelting did not have a religion, then why does the bulldozer have a religion today?
Okay, thank you. You have raised a very pertinent question and brought in my leader Rahul Gandhi into the context. When you speak about Rahul Gandhi, he is an MP from Wayanad. He is a leader of the Congress party, of course. He has been tweeting on various development issues, various issues concerning the common man. But the Prime Minister of India is yet to comment against the hate politics that the country is going through right now. Point number one. Point number two, when I say the demolition drive, the eviction drive, there is a chronology to it. Why I say chronology? You see the eviction drive in Assam, which turned bloody. You see the eviction drive in Madhya Pradesh, in Gujarat, in Uttar Pradesh, now in Delhi. Now the timing is suspect. Sambhiji says the timing is not suspect, but I beg to differ on that. Why the timing is not suspect? Because on Jahangirpuri violence just 2 days ago, and on the third day you land with your bulldozers without even due consideration given to the people to remove the illegal structure or their illegal belongings from the road. Now what did you do out there? 30 to 35 years of encroachment, you suddenly rise up one day and say that these people need to clear the roads. Fine, we don't have any problem with the illegal encroachments. But we have problem when this is leveled as JCB, means Jihad Control Board. Who says this? The BJP spokesperson says this. Who says this? That kada sa kada vyavastha lena hoga Jahangirpuri ka violence ka upar. Who says this? The union minister, the union home minister says this. And the next day, the MCD lands up with their bulldozers and armies to demolish those structures, those poor people who have been living out there. The houses, the structures that have been raised, they might be from both the communities. But then the greater lesson that is being put out here is a state-sponsored, hate-filled eviction drive against a particular community, and the majority community, 2-3 people you have named.
I want to ask Dr. Sambit Patra is responding to you. Dr. Sambit Patra, stone pelting and guns going off by Ansar and his clean chit, was that part of the love politics that was being put out by the opposition? The fact that Gorakhnath Mutt was attacked by Murtaza, was that part of love? Was that something that completely escaped the attention of the Congress party and the opposition? What about the fact that even over the last several days in Karoli, there are Hindu families which are moving out and immigrating away from Karoli? Is that part of love politics in Rajasthan? Why is the Congress party just looking this through such a narrow lens?
Navika, in fact, the Congress party has been looking through the narrow lens since long. It's a reason as to why they have a narrow realm of theirs left across the country today. Navika, it's astonishing that all the panelists present over here, including you, the anchor, and most of the viewers who are watching the show, they all know the truth. Who is the one who is a stone pelter? Who is the one who is the real culprit? Who is the one who is the real victim? We all know the truth, but such is the, I would say, such is the stature of secularism in this country, that despite knowing the truth, we still have to debate till the cows come home. That is the stature of secularism, one-way street secularism in India, number one. Number two, I mean, replying to what my good Congress spokesperson had to say, Mr. Kamru Zaman, number one, he talked about chronology, pattern. I also want to talk about the chronology. Why was it that when Obama was to visit India, there was a church attack pattern placed, church attack allegation placed, later it was found to be bunkum? Why was it when Trump was to come, we had a Umar Khalid who was in fact instigating riots, and we had, unfortunately, a Delhi riot? Why is it that when Britain's premier is to come in a couple of days, the Britain's prime minister would be here, why is it that we have a similar narrative being floated as if the minorities in India are under attack, state-sponsored violence? Why is it, in fact, that time is a suspect always? Why is it that despite the fact that we all know Burhan Wani is a terrorist, we all know that Burhan Wani is a terrorist, but we have liberals and the leftists saying that he is Bechara, headmaster ka beta. So over here we have Ansars and the likes of Ansars, the like of Sonu Chikna, etc., being protected under the garb of ye poor hain. They are the poor people who are bhatke hue stone pelters. So we all know what the truth is, and I would conclude by saying, yes, kada action
and
to
Mohammad
hoga.
Asif Hussain Sohail.
Kariye nahi kariye, kada action to hoga.
Sohail Saab, that is the question. When Ansar is caught and his illegal kabadi business is attacked, the fact is, even before the police can investigate, Owaisi Sahab comes out and says, "Ye to अच्छा आदमी है, मैं जानता नहीं हूँ पर अच्छा आदमी हूँ." Why? Because there is a religion that binds them. But I want to ask you today, in the demolition, where did religion come into it? Didn't you hear the words of Ganesh Gupta or Sumit Saxena or Ranjan Jha? Why is it only about a masjid? Why is it only about Muslim homes being trashed and pulled down? Why is it not about the Hindus? The fact of the matter is, there was no religion that was discussed when it came to stone pelting on a Hanuman Murti on Hanuman Jayanti. But today, all bulldozers have a Bhagwa on top of them. Why is it so?
Good evening, Navika ji. Sambit Patra ji has already given us a verdict and certification ki who has done the riot and who is the stone planter. Then why is the debate for? See, when you're talking about the demolition drive today, we have seen a masjid.
But it has also been done by Mr. Owaisi. Mr. Owaisi has also given the verdict.
So let me देखिए जब एक मस्जिद की बाउंड्री तोड़ते हैं तो जब कुछ नहीं होता है, जब एक मेजॉरिटी लोगों के इंपॉर्टेंट चीजों को तोड़ने की बात आती है तो 100 बुलडोजर को भी रोका जाता है. Even that is a fact. See, when Ansar is there, let the investigation goes on. Let a judge come and be a part of the investigation team, because हम लोग ने देखा है कि दिल्ली पुलिस का क्या रोल था एनआरसीसीए में, हर कोई जानता है. सी, ये एक प्री प्लान, एक पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा, एक कम्युनिटी के तरफ डराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. आप सीधा हमें गोली मार देना, एक बुलडोजर से क्या होगा? आप 100 बुलडोजर लाके क्यों चला रहे हो? स्ट्रेट अवे थम्बी जी, मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूं, बीजेपी और आरएसएस मिलके मुसलमानों को सबको मार ही दीजिए, एक ही साथ में खत्म कर दीजिए. आप लोग ये सब क्यों एक लोगों को तकलीफ देते हुए? वाई आर गिविंग अ पेन टू द पुअर? छोटे बच्चे रो रहे हैं वहां पे. अगर इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन है तो उसको निकालने के लिए आप एक रिहैबिलिटेशन प्रोग्राम करना चाहिए था. आके दिन दहाड़े यू कैन नॉट डेमोलिश विदाउट एनी नोटिस. तो इसमें क्लियरली बताया जा रहा है, एक ही प्रोग्राम पूरे स्टेट्स में जो बुलडोजर का हो रहा है ना, उसको आप चेंज करके डायरेक्टली मुसलमानों को मार दे और खत्म कर दें आप. नहीं तो क्यों एक तरफा जो उसको खेल खेला जा रहा है? ना नरेंद्र मोदी जी इसके ऊपर आके कुछ बोल रहे हैं, ना अमित शाह जी का.
The victim card is out. Gargi wants to come in. Gargi Nandi Roy wants to come in. Also, Ishkaran Bhandari wants to come in. Gargi, to you first. The victim card is out.
Yes, can I come, sir? Please, if you let me speak. Yeah, please don't.
How long, ma'am?
Yeah, let me tell you, demolition has been happening in Delhi since January.
Madam,
sir, okay, you have spoken.
Your house has not been demolished. Your office
Sir,
has not been
पे भी
demolished. You will not go
shops
through
has
that
been
phase.
demolished.
वो छोटे
Shops
गरीब
has
लोगों
been
से पूछिए
demolished.
आप छोटे
Houses
गरीब लोगों
are-
से पूछिए आप
I have heard you.
छोटे
with
गरीब
respect.
लोगों से पूछिए
Okay, let me speak. Give me a minute, sir. Navika, am I audible? Yeah. Sir, the demolition drive has been happening in Delhi. Yeah, demolition drive has been happening in Delhi since January. Even in Jahangirpuri on 2nd February, 17th February, 11th April, demolition happened. No Brinda Karat was there. Okay, so now they are playing this. So demolition happened. Then you did not cry for the Muslim brothers, sir. And when you are blaming BJP, in this politics of demolition, what is happening, what is getting overlooked is the attack on Hindu processions across the country.
Against atrocities.
And it is not happening in BJP time. Sir, the attack on Hindu processions has been happening.
मुझे रोने की जरूरत नहीं है मुझे अल्लाह ने उतनी अल्लाह के ऊपर मुझे इतना यकीन है इसका फैसला अल्लाह करेगा बराबर.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll see. Attacks on Hindu procession has been happening for decades, sir. Not today. So don't blame the BJP or Bajrang Dal only. I'll quote a book of 1945
Madam,
written by Ambedkar.
14-15%. Right. There is an investigation report. हर किसी में बरी किया गया है.
Sir, let me speak. There was a book called Pakistan or the Partition of India published in 1945 by Ambedkar, whom you
मैडम
people
आप
respect.
लोग ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है जिन्ना पाकिस्तान रोहिणी बांग्लादेश के कब तक खाओगे आप इसके ऊपर How long you will eat of this on the name of this thing? कब तक खाओगे इनके नाम पर आप पैसा?
Countries without any objection. Even in Afghanistan, which is not a secularized country, no objection is taken to music before a mosque. But in India, the Muslims must insist upon its stoppage for no other reason except that the Hindus claim a right to it. Sir, I have quoted Ambedkar. This is not what I said. This is from his seminal work, the book called Pakistan or the Partition of India, and it was published in 1945. So since decades, the attack on Hindu processions has been happening. This rioting is not today's. Please also address that issue because of this politics around demolition. What has happened, what has been overlooked is the attack on the Hindu processions.
Mr. Sohail, the point is, Mr. Sohail, that there have been demolition drives in India from January till now, 52 of them. Why did you not come out in any of these demolition drives? Because at that time, there was no politics that would happen. Today, you found a way where you could have your own political movement, you could get a political issue to brandish around. So you came out today and made a spectacle. I want to ask you, why did Asaduddin Owaisi Sahab not come out to Jahangirpuri on Saturday or Sunday when there was stone pelting and when a Hindu yatra was actually pelted upon and targeted, when there were shots fired in the air? Nobody died. Just because nobody died, the fact is you can continue to pelt stones on any Hindu yatras just because it's going through a Muslim area. And Times Now has put out video after video where you can see it, that the statue of Hanuman, the Tiranga is targeted and there is no provocation. I want to ask you tonight, is just chanting Jai Shri Ram provocation? Provocation hota hai wo?
I will reply you, ma'am. मैडम पहली चीज, आप हिंदू एरिया मुसलमान एरिया हिंदुस्तान को आप बांटिए मत. दूसरी चीज, स्टार्ट डिवाइडिंग द राइटर्स इन द नेम ऑफ हिंदू राइटर्स आर मुस्लिम. जो दंगा करे ना हिंदू के ना मुसलमान,
कुछ लोग जो दलीलें देते हैं उन्होंने बांटा है.
नहीं, आप बोल रहे हैं ना मुस्लिम एरिया. why are you attacking मुस्लिम एरिया? आप देखिए और बताइए असदुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब की बात. जब Madam, let me
Ishkaran Bhandari, have I started the definition of Muslim area? Have I started the definition of Muslim area?
Not at all.
No.
Navika ji,
तो बताया ना
if it's a question to me, can I speak?
ठीक है,
Can I speak if it's a question to me? मेरा नाम इश्करन है भैया, मुझे बोलने दो।
असदुद्दीन अवैसी साहब,
मेरा नाम इश्करन है, मैं बोल लूं।
आप जानते हैं ना
क्या क्या चीज पे कब्जा करोगे? मेरे नाम पे भी कब्जा कर लोगे?
बुक किया गया जब उनके दो हाथ ही नहीं,
नाविका जी, इफ आई कैन आंसर दिस,
के लिए कौन ठहरेगा फिर?
अरे मेरे नाम पे अवैध कब्जा मत करो। इश्करन मेरा नाम है, मुझे बोलने दो। मेरे नाम पे अवैध कब्जा मत करो। मैं अपना नाम बोल लूं। मेरे नाम पे सवाल पूछा गया, मेरे नाम पे कब्जा मत करो प्लीज, नहीं तो आप बोलोगे कि भाई नाम पे कब्जा कर लिया। अब मुझे बोलने दीजिए। नाविका जी, इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम विच इज मल्टी डायमेंशनल प्रॉब्लम. One is the municipality laws under which the illegal construction is being demolished. The second is the law and order issue in which a Hindu procession gets stoned with weapons lying on rooftops. And third is this ecosystem, the entire ecosystem, which is the one which coined the word that Jai Shri Ram is being spoken loudly in Muslim areas. That is what came through various people and various, I think, journalists also belonging to a particular school of thought. So let us deal by it one by one. Firstly, when we deal with this concept of Muslim area, and you cannot say Jai Shri Ram loudly, or the demolition which is being targeted, that why is it being carried out in Muslim areas? It has not been done since January. At least in Delhi, it's been done since 2006 in various drives and in various areas. Go to Amar Colony, go to Lajpat Nagar, you will see, go to North Delhi, go to East Delhi. It's been going on since 2006. In different phases, in different times. But now that it's going in Jahangirpuri, this entire bogey of Muslim area, minority, communal bulldozer starts. Second aspect, when stone pelting happens on a Hindu procession, it is a clear tactic to intimidate common citizens from carrying out procession. The common citizen does not react. But if the Home Minister of the country says that kadi karwai hogi, that is what is to be done as per law. If people stone processions, what is the Home Minister supposed to say? We will not take action. Of course action has to be taken. And now when they talk about this notice thing, I will just read you one section from DMC Act. Don't interrupt, just let me read. Kuch kanun pad lo. Let me just read one section from DMC Act. Please read. I will just read 3 lines and then you can continue. Navika ji, if I can just read 3 lines from the Act and then you can continue. Under section 321, 323 and specifically 325, I will just read their various clauses and then let me just now read.
Just tell
Let me just read. See, they don't want to listen to the law because they want to say that the government is doing communal action.
No,
if they read the law, if they hear the law.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Rahul Gandhi talks about law. Rahul Gandhi talks about constitution, and you don't want to hear the article. You don't want to hear the section of the law. ये कैसी विडंबना है? I only want to ask you. I only want to ask you why are you not willing to listen to the constitution? Mr. Rahul Gandhi has just today, and he's tweeted while he's abroad. He didn't tweet about the Jahangirpuri clashes. And the fact is that you have an ecosystem which knocks on the doors of the courts. Every time there is a Yaqub Memon, Afzal Hum Sharminda hai, Tere Qatil Zinda hai, Rahul Gandhi in JNU. Again, when Jahangirpuri happens, no condemnation. But today, the minute demolition happens, he's not worried about a Sumit Saxena or a Ganesh Gupta. He's only worried about the Muslims. Why, Kamruzaman Chaudhary? Do you not remember that the Prime Minister, when he was Chief Minister in Gujarat in 2013, he demolished 80 temples in Gujarat, a state that he was Chief Minister for in 2013. He demolished 80 temples because they were illegal.
He demolished all temples in Varanasi also.
2008.
So that is not the point out here. The point, ma'am, out here is the only one question. When on 11 baje, 11 o'clock, the Supreme Court ordered a stay. Despite that, कानून का ध्वज यही लोग उड़ाया है, बुलडोजर का चलने दिया और 2 घंटा तक और चलने दिया। ये कानून का ये सम्मान करते हैं और यहाँ पे बड़े बातें करते हैं लाकर सेक्शंस ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। अरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नाम का कोई चीज आपसे कोई मतलब नहीं लगता।
Okay, now if you will stop interjecting, if you will stop heckling, can I?
प्रेशर मिलता है।
You asked a question, let me answer.
Ishkaran is responding. I'm getting in Dr. Patra also to respond to that. Ishkaran first.
ये किया है आपको?
Yes. नाविका जी, let us be very clear conceptually.
अरे गरीब लोगों की इतनी चिंता है तो महंगाई की रैली में हिंदुत्व मत समझाया करो ना। फिर महंगाई की रैली में महंगाई की बात किया करो, हिंदुत्व मत समझाया करो।
117
नाविका जी, नाविका जी,
117 रुपया पेट्रोल।
See, they will keep shifting the goalpost because they don't want to have a debate on any one issue. If they want to have a debate, let us have it on the issue they want to have. पेट्रोल महंगा है, मैं भी बोलता हूँ महंगा है।
Okay, pointed question, Ishkaran Bhandari. After the Supreme Court stayed the demolition, why was the demolition still on? Your response.
Let me answer. Just firstly, lightly. पेट्रोल महंगा है, पता नहीं एविएशन फ्यूल कितना सस्ता है कि बार बार बाहर उड़ते रहते हैं आपकी पार्टी के कुछ बड़े नेता, शायद वो बहुत सस्ता होगा और टिकटें बहुत सस्ती होंगी। बट एनीवेज, दैट्स अ सेपरेट डिबेट, आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू इट। व्हाट आई वाज रीडिंग, आई जस्ट वांट टू रीड दैट the commissioner, and there are various things, the commissioner may without notice cause to be removed any of the things referred in clause B or clause C. What is clause B? Building materials set up on streets, asphalt, temporary constructions, temporary erections. So let me just, now again you will start interjecting. अरे कानून पढ़ना नहीं और कानून की बात करनी है आपको। नाविका जी, let me finish my point. See, they don't want to, that is the entire thing. Every time I try to talk on the law, they don't want to. Okay, forget the law because there is no point of discussing the law with you. Let us discuss the practicalities now. Let us discuss the practicalities now. Can I answer that? Can I answer that? Let us do that.
All right. Dr. Patra, answer that question. Why was the demolition still on after the Supreme Court stayed the process? 1 minute, I'm lowering everybody's fader. Dr. Patra, straightforward question to you. I'm coming to you, Syed Jawed साहब, मैं आपके पास आ रही हूँ. Dr. Patra.
Straightforward answer to a straightforward question, because it takes time for the judgment, for the verdict to travel to the place where the demolition is being carried out, and as soon as the verdict traveled there through the officers of the court, the demolition was stopped. This is what the procedure is. The court has not commented upon it. Why should these spokespersons be commenting upon it? And as far as the Congress party is concerned, sorry Navika, I may sound a bit off track, but I would say in today's era the congressmen will also, अरे भैया ये क्या है, ये आप हर जगह encroachment, Mr. Encroachment, please allow others to speak also, please. ये हर जगह encroach क्यों करते हैं आप? You encroached upon Ishkaran Bhandari, you are encroaching my time. I will tell you something which
आपने किया देश का दिमाग पे, you will be evicted very soon, Mr. Patra, don't worry about it.
हाँ, आप जानते हैं सबसे बड़ा encroachment क्या है?
चुनाव इतने होते हैं,
कांग्रेस पार्टी में राहुल गांधी ही encroachment है। नहीं नाविका सुनियो ना, सबसे बड़ा एनक्रोचमेंट तो ये राहुल गांधी ही कांग्रेस पार्टी के ऊपर है। ये G23 तो चिल्ला के बोल रही है, हटाओ इस एनक्रोचमेंट को। राहुल गांधी is the biggest encroachment on the Congress party, and secretly all these congressmen are praying कि यहाँ भगवान यहाँ भी बुलडोजर भेजो, उठा के राहुल गांधी को बाहर करो, कुछ हमारा कल्याण होगा। ये सबसे बड़ा एनक्रोचमेंट है राहुल गांधी। अरे कमरू जी, आप भी जानते हैं, आप भी मुस्कुरा रहे हैं मन ही में। ये राहुल गांधी जितना बड़ा एनक्रोचमेंट है ना, शुक्र है अभी फॉरेन कंट्री में बैठा है। जितना ज्यादा फॉरेन में रहेगा उतना ही अच्छा होगा आपके लिए। आप शांति से बैठो।
राहुल गांधी
छोड़ दिया, हमने छोड़ दिया, आप भी छोड़ दीजिए। अरे छोड़ दिया राहुल गांधी को। अरे कमरू भैया छोड़ दिया, राहुल गांधी को छोड़ दिया, आप भी छोड़ दो, आप भी जल्दी छोड़ो। जितने दिन तक इस भार को उठा के चलोगे आप दब के जाओगे, कुछ होगा नहीं। ये एनक्रोचमेंट को हटाओ कांग्रेस पार्टी से, जल्दी से हटाओ।
राहुल गांधी जी से
आप मुझे बोलने दो, प्लीज डोंट डिस्टर्ब।
इतना डर अच्छा,
बहुत डरता हूं मैं, बचाओ।
मन में डर जो है
बहुत अच्छा लगता है, हमें भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
नहीं, वन क्वेश्चन
बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बहुत अच्छा लगता है मुझे भी। मैं बहुत डरा हुआ हूँ, राहुल गांधी से बहुत डरा हुआ हूं।
सवाल का जवाब दे दीजिए, मैं चुप हो जाऊंगा।
नाविका,
मैं राहुल गांधी नहीं सुनूंगा।
कमरू जवान कैन मिस्टर, ठीक है, अब मत सुनो, आप शांति रखो। Sometimes you all should be peace loving also. Always being the stone pelter does not in fact give you the right stature, you know. Please don't be the stone pelter always, allow others to speak as well. Navika, I was astonished. The victim card, it took no time for most of the panelists to take out their victim card. We had one of the panelists suggesting, why demolish? Why don't you kill all the Muslims? Why don't you just take them out and just shoot them and kill all the Muslims? Just imagine these people, these very people like Mr. Kamrujaman and the other panelists who take out their victim cards. They were laughing when we had Kashmiri Files. When the Kashmir Files, a movie was in fact showcased for the Indians, these very people, including Mr. Kejriwal and all their courtiers, they were laughing, shamelessly laughing. These people today say that take out the Muslims and hang them and kill them. My simple question is, Mr. Kamrujaman, where are you all happy? You are having a riot in Sweden. Is the Bharatiya Janata Party responsible for the riot in Sweden? You are not happy in Germany. You are saying that Germans now in fact are prosecuting you. Are we the ones responsible there? In US also you said that the US government was against the Muslims. Is the Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS responsible for it? Please look within yourselves. There is something fundamentally wrong as far as the fundamentalists are concerned. I'm not blaming any religion. Every religion is to be respected. But as far as the fundamentalists within the religions are concerned, they should look within themselves. Remember, secularism can never be a one-way street. It can never be a one-way street. If you want that we should respect your every procession, we should respect you reading namaz on the streets without permission. We should not question Muslims reading namaz on Friday on the streets. But you question why having julus and why having shobha yatras without permission? If you take out shobha yatras without permission, we are going to pelt you with stones. If you come to sensitive quote-unquote Muslim areas, quote-unquote Muslim areas, and
Syed Jawed साहब, Syed Jawed
you
साहब
in your opening
बहुत
statement
अहम
said
मुद्दा
that
उठाया है डॉक्टर पात्रा ने। डॉक्टर पात्रा कह रहे हैं कि अगर आपको चाहिए रिस्पेक्ट आपके धर्म के लिए, मुसलमानों के लिए, तो धर्म को रिस्पेक्ट सब करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता कि सिर्फ एक धर्म को मिलेगी रिस्पेक्ट और दूसरे धर्म के ऊपर अगर जय श्री राम भी बोलेंगे तो पत्थर बरसेंगे, गोलियां निकल जाएंगी। ये सवाल सोचना पड़ेगा। और आज जिन्होंने कहा कि ये बुलडोजर चला मुसलमानों पर, आपको बता दिया यहां पर कि मंदिर के बाहर भी चला और मस्जिद के बाहर भी चला। अगर मुसलमानों के घर और उनके ठेलों पर चला तो वो हिंदुओं के ठेलों पर भी चला। तो क्यों ये हर वक्त छाती पीटकर कहा जाता है कि खाली मुसलमान तबाह होता है? क्योंकि जो हुआ वो दोनों वर्गों के साथ हुआ।
मैं अपनी बात की शुरुआत एक शेर से कर देता हूं, अशारों को सुने और पूरा हिंदुस्तान भी सुने। जलते घरों को देखने वालों, फूस का छप्पर आपका है, आपके पीछे तेज हवा है, आगे मुकद्दर आपका है। उसके कत्ल पे मैं भी चुप था, मेरा नंबर अब आया, मेरे कत्ल पे आप भी चुप हैं, अगला नंबर आपका है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी और देश के अंदर एक समस्या हो गई, वो समस्या बिल्कुल साफ बता रहा हूं। क्यों मुसलमानों को टारगेट करा जा रहा है? कोरोना के नाम पर मुसलमानों को टारगेट करा जाएगा कि कोरोना मुसलमान फैला रहे थे। यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी और तमाम मीडिया ट्रायल के अंदर ये कहा गया कोरोना फैला रहे थे। फिर कोर्ट ने क्या कहा वो सबके सामने है। किस तरीके से टारगेट करा गया मरकज को वो हमने देखा। उसके बाद हिजाब का मुद्दा आता, किस तरीके से एक औरत के, एक बच्ची के पीछे तमाम भगवाधारी लोग जो है पीछे हुल्लड़बाजी करते हुए आते हैं, तब ये टारगेटिंग नहीं होती। उसके बाद कभी गाय के नाम पर जो है मुसलमानों को मारा जाता है, कभी बोला जाता है कि जय श्री राम का नारा लगाओ नहीं तो तुम्हें रहने नहीं देंगे हिंदुस्तान में, तब ये होता है। उसके बाद गोश्त के नाम पे होता है, हलाल के नाम पे होता है, झटके के नाम पे होता है, फिर उसके बाद यात्राएं निकाली जाती हैं और उसके बाद अगर हम अपनी आवाज उठाते हैं, उसके बाद हम अपनी दुख और तकलीफ को रखना चाहते हैं,
100 डेसिबल की आवाज में चिल्ला रहा है ये 9 बजे और बोल रहे हैं कि इनको हम मार रहे हैं।
कल को ये भी कह देंगे ये कि हिंदुओं के ऑक्सीजन जो है जो देश में फैले हुए मुसलमान ले रहा है।
सुबह 6 बजे से रात के 12 बजे तक चिल्लाते हैं,
कल को ये
फिर बोलते हैं हम सब इनको मार रहे हैं।
इस देश में मुसलमानों को लगातार जिस तरीके से टारगेट करा जा रहा, मैं
नाविका जी,
पूरी इंटरनेशनल मीडिया आज की डेट में कह रही है कि माइनॉरिटीज की हालत क्या हो गई है इस वक्त देश के अंदर, उसके लिए कोई नहीं बोलने वाला। और यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग
वॉशिंगटन पोस्ट तो आपकी खाला जान है, वो तो कहेंगी।
सबसे बड़े एक्सपर्ट
डॉक्टर पात्रा इनका कहना है जो हालत इनकी है ये हालत हम बाकियों की कर देंगे। तो इनका कहना है सीधे ये कह रहे हैं आपको ये चुनौती दे रहे हैं सीधे कि आपने हमारा अगर एक घर ढाया तो हम आपके भी घर ढा देंगे। जवाब दीजिए।
क्या कहेंगे उसके बारे में? आप उसके बारे में कुछ बोलेंगे? जब आप हारे थे पूरी से इलेक्शन
ये चुप तो हो जाए, मिस्टर विक्टिम, थोड़ा हमको बोलने तो दो। कल्प्रिट को तो, विक्टिम जी, कल्प्रिट को थोड़ा बोलने तो दीजिए।
चलिए जवाब लेते हैं ना। सईद जावेद साहब जवाब दे रहे हैं पात्रा जी।
विक्टिम जी, मिस्टर विक्टिम जावेद, थोड़ा सा कल्प्रिट को बोलने तो दीजिए। अरे भैया, कल्प्रिट को थोड़ा सा जुर्म तो करने दीजिए।
सबसे आखिर में बोलने देंगे और उसके बाद पूरी बात भी मुकम्मल नहीं होने देंगे, फिर कहेंगे
ये थोड़ा सा नाविका जी, मिस्टर विक्टिम को बोलिए जरा, हम तो बोल लें। ये विक्टिम इतना जोर जोर चिल्लाएगा तो हम करेंगे क्या फिर कल्प्रिट से?
उसके बावजूद इतनी जाती मत करिए, आप इतनी अच्छी लगती हैं।
चलो विक्टिम चिल्लाओ।
आपने
हो
संबित
गया।
पात्रा को लगातार मौका दिया, लेकिन हम मजलूमों की आवाज रखने का मौका नहीं देंगे। आप रखने दीजिए आवाज। रही बात
मजलूम को बोलने दो, आज बोलो मजलूम, मिस्टर मजलूम बोलो।
मजलूम है भाई,
मजलूम है भाई, बोलो
मजलूमों को बोलने दिया जाए। मेरी इल्तिजा है सबसे कि मजलूमों को बोलने दिया जाए। सईद जावेद साहब कितने मजलूम है, जरा बयान तो करिए। कितने मजलूम है, कितने सालों से मजलूम है, किसने आपको मजलूम बनाया? आज ही मजलूम बने या 8,857 राइट्स जब हुए थे कांग्रेस के जमाने में, तब भी आप मजलूम थे? ये मजलूमियत कब से चल रही है, जरा देश को बताइए ना।
जावेद साहब बताइए,
ये कब से मजलूम है इश्करन भाई?
मत बोलने दीजिए।
मैं थोड़ा नाविका जी
मजलूम जी का मैं उत्तर देता हूं।
नाविका जी, मैं अगर बोल लूं एक मिनट। नाविका जी, जितनी मासूमियत है उतनी मजलूमियत है। वैसे मुझे उर्दू ज्यादा नहीं आती तो मुझे मजलूमियत का एग्जैक्ट मीनिंग नहीं बताया, बट एनीवेज जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, अगर मैं उस पर बात कर ले कि ये जो मासूमियत है ये वहां कब जाती है जब छत के ऊपर असला रखा जाता है, पत्थर रखा जाता है, पेट्रोल बम रखा जाता है और नीचे फेंका जाता है। तो यहाँ पे ये ब्यूटी हो चुकी है कि आप पथराव भी करेंगे, आप टीवी पे सबसे ज्यादा टाइम भी लेंगे और सबसे ज्यादा मासूम भी आप बन जाएंगे। पर ये चल नहीं रहा, ये सब कुछ एक्सपोज हो चुका है। और जहां पे आप शेरो शायरी बाद में कर लीजिएगा, थोड़ा मुद्दे की बात भी कर लेते हैं।
बोलने दीजिए। आप क्या
बोलिए
दिए हुए मूल धाराओं के हक और हकूक का जो है गला
संविधान की रैली सजाओ रे, रैली का ग्राउंड लगाओ। अब ये भाषण होगा मजलूम का, रैली का ग्राउंड लगाओ चाहिए। नाविका जी, रैली का ग्राउंड तैयार करिए, एक बड़ा सा माइक्रोफोन लगाइए। मैं यहाँ से भेजता हूँ, 1 लाख आदमी भी भेजता हूँ। मिस्टर मजलूम भाषण देंगे, हम सब सुनेंगे। करिए मजलूम जी, भाषण करिए। आप
प्रवक्ता है, आपको ये मजाक और ये जो आप हरकतें
जावेद साहब,
भैया मजलूम, मैं तो प्रवक्ता हूँ। आप जो इतने बड़े मजलूम बने हैं, थोड़ा सुन तो लीजिए।
54 सेकंड से आप बोल रहे हैं, 6 मिनट 54 सेकंड से आप बोल रहे हैं। मजलूमियत आपकी इतनी है और मौका आपको इतना कम मिला, तब भी आप तकरीबन 6.25 मिनट बोल चुके हैं। अब मैं आपका फेडर कर रही हूं डाउन, आप थोड़ा रो लीजिए, दिखेगा सबको। लेकिन पात्रा जी जवाब दीजिए। इन्होंने जो जवाब उठाए हैं, कह रहे हैं आपने इन्हें मजलूम बना दिया और कहीं का नहीं छोड़ा।
नाविका जी, ये मजलूम हैंडलूम है, खुद अपने हाथ से ये लूम बनाया है मजलूम। ये मजलूम उन्होंने खुद अपने हाथ से बनाया है, अपने हाथ से विक्टिम कार्ड तैयार किया है, इसलिए ये मजलूम हैंडलूम है। इनके हिसाब से याकूब मेमन भी मजलूम था, वो मुसलमान था, इसलिए लोअर कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसे फांसी दे दिया। बेचारा याकूब मेमन था वो। इनके हिसाब से तो अफजल गुरु भी सबसे बड़ा मजलूम था। अफजल, हम शर्मिंदा हैं, तेरे कातिल जिंदा हैं। ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज सब कातिल हैं और ये सारे मजलूम शर्मिंदा हैं कि ये कातिल जिंदा कैसे हैं। इन कातिलों को तो मार देना चाहिए था, क्योंकि ये मजलूम था ना अफजल गुरु। ये बुरहान वानी कितना बड़ा मजलूम बुरहान वानी, हेडमास्टर का बेटा, एक हेडमास्टर के बेटे को मार दिया। क्या मजलूमियत है? आप बताइए, इस देश में बाटला हाउस एनकाउंटर में ये जो महेश चंद था आपका इंस्पेक्टर, इसने क्या किया? मजलूम 3 मजलूमों को मार दिया। तो ये सारे मजलूम थे। ये अफगानिस्तान में ये सारे महिलाओं के ऊपर जो अत्याचार कर रहे हैं, ये भी तो मजलूम हैं। ये जो सीरिया में ISIS बगदादी, ये सारे मजलूम हैं, ये सारे मजलूम हैं। हाँ, मोहनचंद शर्मा जी, ये तो सब, ये मोहनचंद शर्मा जी के ऊपर तो आक्रमण करेंगे क्योंकि बाकी 3 मजलूम आतंकवादी जो मारे गए थे, देखिए इनके हिसाब से जितने आतंकवादी, पत्थरबाज, जितने लोगों ने हिंदुस्तान में शांति को भंग करने की कोशिश की, ये सब मजलूम है। मुझे लगता है डिक्शनरी देखना पड़ेगा, इनके डिक्शनरी में मजलूम का मतलब क्या होता है। कहीं 72 हूर के खोज में निकले हुए लोगों को तो मजलूम नहीं कहते हैं। मुझे तो कभी कभी ऐसे लगने लगा है, मजलूम 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 मजलूम, जरूर ये 72 हूर के खोज में निकले हुए लोगों को ही मजलूम कहते होंगे।
Navika, this is
जावेद जी,
comment made by
मैं आज सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहती हूँ, and ladies and gentlemen, whether bulldozer justice is right or not, the Supreme Court will take its call tomorrow when it hears this entire issue. But the basic issue here is, can there be secularism only from one side? Can there be stone pelting and gunshots when there is a Hindu procession going, and on the other side there will be demands for some special arrangements to be made for the minority community? When there is a demolition and the demolition takes down structures belonging both to the Hindus and the Muslims, the question is, will it still be called targeted against a certain community? The question is, why should everything in this country be opposed? When everybody wants to break the law, wants to sit on roads, wants to do dharnas, calling it their right under the Constitution to protest against the government, then how can they take away the rights of the administration to go ahead with bringing down illegal structures? It's a tough call. It's a tough call, but tough calls need to be stared right in the eye. I'm not saying one side is right or the other, but the fact is that there are transgressions that are happening on both sides. As a society, we need to wake up and look at the red lines. The red lines will need to be respected by every single citizen of this country, because the rule of law is the only rule that can prevail and that can keep some order in a country. Otherwise, we will become a banana republic. It's a call everybody must understand, that the law will go on and that the law will determine who goes where, who gets what, and how this country has to be run. But the law has to be implemented equally for everyone. Thank you very much to my viewers, and thank you very much to the guests joining me on debate number 1.